Earnings are coming through to drive this rally, and that doesn't normally form a bubble. But first, let's discuss the massive week we have ahead and the triple catalyst that could really launch us into a massively bullish November if all the boxes are checked. First, we have tech earnings season peak this week. Not only is 20% of the broader market reporting, but we have heavyweights like Microsoft, Alphabet, Meta, Apple, and Amazon all reporting this week. And so far, if we're looking at the companies that have reported the last 2 weeks, 87% of companies have beat on earnings per share and 83% have beat on revenue. And blended earnings growth sits at positive 9.2% versus what was expected at 7.9%. So, positive tech earnings this week could reignite momentum in AI and tech stocks. And I think it's important to note that this is an earnings-led rally. This isn't on hype or speculation. Earnings are coming through to drive this rally, and that doesn't normally form a bubble. Now, we also have the FOMC interest rate decision on Wednesday. The bonds market is pricing in a near 100% chance of another rate cut. We also set that up with the better than expected CPI data that we got last week. And if we do get a surprise with a 50 basis point cut instead of the expected 25%, that could really supercharge risk assets and drive a breakout across equities and crypto. And then the third thing we have this week, and the third box we're kind of halfway through to checking, is the US-China trade deal. Now, there is optimism there because over the weekend, US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent did hint at a trade deal being imminent. And then later on Sunday, we got news that the framework of the deal has been approved. Now, the markets have rallied off of that, as we saw by the gap up open and the strong performance today, even though the final details still need to be ironed out and approved by Trump and Xi when they meet on Thursday. The other two remain to be seen, but if we can get all three of those, everything seems to be lining for a very positive November.